Hi everyone, I am Lori Cooch. Welcome back to another Makers with Heart video collaboration. This month we are going to showcase our favorite products from the Retiring Core catalog. But I want to point out to you before I do that this is our current core catalog, the one that's going to retire, and that goes from September of 2021 through August of 2022. Now I can show you the cover of the new core catalog, but what's important to notice is that goes from August 2022 to July of 2023. Excuse me. That means we have an overlap for the month of August, and everything in both catalogs will be available to you in August. But what I want to point out is, like everybody, we've had to do some price increases a little bit on a few items, and they're nothing huge. But during the month of August, when they overlap and they're both available, those items, you'll be able to get those at the old price. So if there's something that you want out of this catalog that the price went up on in the new catalog, then you want to be sure and order that in August, because September 1, it'll be the higher price. So we all like to save a little money when we can, so make sure that to take advantage of that little bit of savings. Now, on to the project. If you have followed me for more than a minute, you know what my favorite product is already. This is not retiring. It's just my favorite product in this catalog. And that is the Distress Oxide inks. And they are on page 84 of this current catalog. And we have good collection of colors here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Excuse me, 14 colors of the Distress Oxides from Tim Holtz, and I love them. They're my favorite. Since we got them in the product line, I use them all the time. So if you want more videos showing these inks, check out my other videos and you'll see those. The other product I am using that actually is retiring is the Wild Berry cardstock, and that is our color of the year. And that will be going away at the end of August. So you'll want to get that before that time. So let's get started. What I have done is I have one of our card bases. Those are standard card base size of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So what I did is I cut some of the Wild Berry cardstock at 4 by 5 1/4. So we're going to have that little border around there. And then I cut some White Daisy cardstock at 3 3/4 by 5. So we're going to have that triple layered effect going on there. Excuse me, I am getting over being sick. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do some heat embossing on the White Daisy. And when you heat emboss, you want to get some anti-static on there so that your embossing powder doesn't stick where you don't want it. So you just rub that down real quick. The next product I'm using is the Dragonfly Sympathy Stamp and Thin Cut Z4409. You don't need to remember that. That will be listed in the description below my video. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this stamp, the Dragonfly stamp, and my Versamark ink. And I'm going to just do some random Dragonfly stamping on this White Daisy cardstock. And I'm going to put a couple of them on there. And for whatever reason, mine got black. I don't know why. Even the stamp, I've only ever used this stamp with Versamark and it's black. But it's not going to be an issue once we get the white embossing powder on there. It should be clear. Maybe I just need a new one. I'm going to do another one kind of coming in this way. And I'm leaving this section off here on the corner open because that's where our cinnamon is going to go. Next, I'm going to just grab a piece of just printer paper that I have that I use for embossing. And I've got the white Ranger embossing powder that's also in our catalog. So if you don't have that, you'll need that for this project. And I'm going to just cover up all of those dragonflies with this embossing powder and get them covered real good. Got a little bit on there that I don't want, and a little bit right there. Okay. Put the extra back in my bottle. Just spilled that everywhere. It's so fine that it just went everywhere. Okay, now I'm going to hit this with my heat tool and set that powder. I'm pretty sure everybody has heat embossed before, but if not, you just kind of move your heat gun over it until you see it turn, and it's very noticeable when it turns, and then you know it is set and you can move on to the next section. So see, I'm not worried about my darkness of my ink because that white is just covering it all up. It doesn't take long. And you can really look and see it's all heated, it's all melted. That means it's set and it's not going to go anywhere. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my Distress Oxides. I have those out in Tattered Rose and Picked Raspberry. I'm going to put them on my blending tools. I'm going to start with the Tattered Rose. And I'm going to go right over the top of those dragonflies. It's going to resist the color, so they're going to just pop out and be the beautiful white contrast, which is what I'm looking for. I'm just going to do them in random places on this card. No card ever turns out the same. And in making this video tonight, this is my 4th card because I'm having technical issues with my phone, which is what's recording this video. And then I'm going to come in with the Picked Raspberry. And I'm not going to worry too much about blending it in at this point. I'm just going to get some coverage. And I'm going to come back in with the Tattered Rose and blend it and give it that streamlined, really soft effect. So see where we have these really blunt lines? I'm going to come right over the top of it in the Tattered Rose, and we're going to get a more blended, streamlined look to that. The Tattered Rose just really softens up that Picked Raspberry's brightness, which I love, but this is a sympathy card, so we want it to be a little bit muted. I think that looks good. I've got embossing powder all over my fingers. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with a dry cloth and go over those dragonflies just to get any remaining ink off of those so that they really do pop out and the white really shows. Next, I'm going to just grab a black ink and our sentiment that says "with sympathy" and stamp that in that blank space right there. And of course, I managed to get ink all over the block, and I don't want it on my card, so I'm going to wipe that off. This card is so quick and easy, and you can do it in really no time at all. So I'm going to wipe this off so I don't get ink all over our other pieces of the project. Now, our cardstock, if you didn't know, is two-toned. There's a light side and a dark side. And I think I'm going to go with the dark side. So I'm just going to throw some adhesive on the back of this. And put that on that wild berry cardstock. And then I'm going to take some foam tape. This is just extra from a shaker card. And use that. If you don't have the shaker cards and you don't have these extras, we do have foam tape in rolls. So you can get it that way as well. And I'm just taking the backing off of these. And then I'm going to just center that so we have the white border around the wild berry. And there is a card. So quick and easy. You could pop out a bunch of these in no time. I just think it's so cute. I love resist inking. I just love the way it looks. So that's my card. I hope you liked it. I hope you will click that subscribe button and get notified every time I post another video. I'm not sure if there'll be another one between now and then, but we do have the Makers with Heart mystery envelope coming out on the 25th of every single month. So you're going to want to come back for that. And if you have not already checked out the other makers in this collaboration, go to my playlist called Makers with Heart and check out their videos as well. These videos, they stagger starting on the 10th of the month for 7 days. So there's one every day for 7 days. And then the mystery envelope, we all release those on the 25th at the same time. So be sure and check out all of those videos. Get inspired by them because there are some amazingly creative women in this group, and you'll love them as much as I do. So thanks for watching. I hope you have a fabulous evening, and I hope you will come back and check us all out again. Bye-bye.